Greetings, lords and ladies. Welcome back to another edition of Ask America Anything. We're actually trying something different. We're trying to do this once a day so that we're not kind of scurrying around trying to answer 75 to 100 comments all at one time. So this will give us some time to edit through the week.
So we'll see multiple wardrobe changes.
Multiple wardrobe changes today. And right now, for this segment, I have Pandin. This is my Thai treat, not my Indian treat.
If you watched any of our vlogs, Surfing Violinist vlogs, you will see Pandin makes quite an appearance.
So we found an Asian market. So Satya and I went. Satya and I are going to the Asian market. What do you think?
Yay. Better be good.
All right. Hopefully they got good selection. They actually have rose syrup. Dabur. Actually some Hindi here in Panama City. This is amazing. Unfortunately, not too many Indian snacks. We did get some Rasgulla. Here's how that went. All right, y'all ready for some Rasgulla? All right, Satya's gonna try first. Is it authentic?
I mean, it tastes like Rasgulla.
All right.
Do you like them as much now as you did before in India?
Oh, good. All right, Rohan's a little hesitant here because he hasn't had it in a long time. I think he forgets.
You like these?
Just have it. Have it. Have it, beta. Oh, Satya was having 3.
Second helpings.
Satya's got
Yes,
3.
these are her favorite. Okay.
Do it.
You're gonna love it, kid.
You said you're gonna be brave. You be brave eating a sweet? Like, come on, what is no backbone?
Good job. See, when you try things, you find out you like them. It's pretty sticky.
Yeah.
But good.
5.
You give it a 5?
5 out of
5
what?
5 out of 5 or 5 out of 10?
5.
5 out of 5.
Oh, okay. Since he knows what fractions mean. Motoconomometer? Is that it? Are you doing?
Wait, no. I'm contemplating.
When giving reviews, you must give completely accurate ones.
It's not as good as the ones in India, so I'll give it a open mouth smile.
Okay, good.
Not yet, not an XD, but. What did I get?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I needed to drench mine in more syrup, I think. I agree. It's not quite the same.
Yeah.
But hey, it is close. Yeah, it's definitely Rasgulla. I'm happy next time we're going to have some of this for our next Ask America.
I don't like coconut.
You don't? Oh, my gosh. This is the best.
The best.
Absolute best. All right.
I know, she likes
Worth
it.
How much how much was this thing, the Rasgulla?
I threw the box away. Maybe $3?
It's like $3 or something. It was pretty cheap. So it's cool to visit there. I'm hoping to go back again. It's just nice finding a place locally. I mean, it used to be you have to go to Atlanta. That's 5 hours away.
We still have at least 1 or 2 other places to try to.
So we're gonna try a couple others. Maybe we'll be able to get some Indian food in here. I
have a pressure cooker now, so now I need to find the correct type of lentils that go into making dal makhani because Satya's been dying.
I think they have it there.
It.
I think they have it there.
So that's the thing.
We're going to do this. We're going to start getting back into this slowly but surely. We want to say thank you to everyone who has been so vocal in their support and just all the feedback that we've gotten.
Yes.
I know it's kind of growing pains as we try to figure out the next direction of this channel. Your support has been very encouraging. We're sorry for our petulant whining. It's been a very long year, and I am still just emotionally unhinged. It's not your fault. It's just I've just been kind of a little brat. So I'm sorry for all that, and we are working on it, trying to build a better us. We're getting there. To Flying Tank, who had that comment that led to that, I want to say, if you're still here, I'm sorry that came out in response to what you said. His comment actually had a lot of they were helpful advice, is what you were trying to give there. And so I'm sorry for that response coming out to you. It was not directed to you. It was directed to our own feelings and the way that we felt about this whole thing and our jealousy of Jabby. Again, someone else has pointed out, we'll probably get into it here in a bit, this is not Jabby's fault. Like, I'm actually not mad at Jabby. Maybe Melissa is just a little bit. I think she's just jealous. I think he's a nice guy, and I don't want to bemoan his success, and that's really what it kind of comes down to sounding like. So we're really trying to work through this. Thank you for your patience as we do. Thank you for all of you who've joined the India Connection subreddit and are posting so many links. What I've done is create a India Connection link archive, and I'm putting every link that I can find. Some of them go back a year in our YouTube comments, and links from the subreddit. And I'm linking like a description of what the link is, the link itself, so you can just click on it, and then the user who submitted the link, and then where it can be found. And so this will be something human-made database that's not automated. I'm going to make a copy so that you can start adding your own ones there. That'll be a consolidated place where we can look at stuff for response and for conversation. And I'll sticky that in the subreddit to the top. I'll pin it to the top so people can find it easily. And this will help us just keep categorized so we're not so disorganized like the way we've been. So we'll get there to a more...
Let's be honest, we're always going to be a little disorganized.
No, I'm serious about this. I mean, look how organized I am already. I've got 39 links right here just now that I've done. No, we'll get this thing. All right.
It's okay. It's Ask America Anything. We're sitting in a chair in our bedroom. Chill.
Yeah, we'll try to get the chill again and the happiness.
We had to work through the emotions of this past year. It's been a little rough. If you haven't picked up on that, it's been a little rough.
I just still don't feel at home here, guys. Like I was driving back today. I go to Starbucks. You know, again, Starbucks when we first got to India, like it wasn't even an option. And I missed having a Starbucks. I missed having a place I could go at like 5:30 in the morning and do some writing and reading and thinking and planning. And but you know, now that I'm here and I have that every morning, I walk out and I'm just like, I hate this place. And it's like the beautiful skies. You know, air is very clean, and I'm just like, why is this place?
He's like,
it's weird because I was the one.
When we first came back, he's like, look. Hey, it's not so bad. It's beautiful. Panama City has potential. And I'm the one who's like, oh my gosh, we're here. And now I'm like, oh, it is pretty. Really, we shouldn't complain. And he's like,
I spent 6 months outside working outside, and I guess that just got it out of me. I'm like, I hate this place now. Forget it. All right.
Man, people are so discontent.
Petulant little brat over here. Ugh. All right, we'll start off with the YouTube comments this time. Hadoop SD on YouTube. Do you believe in the New World Order? Is there some sort of takeover of humanity by the so-called globalists? What do you think? Is Trump a plant of the globalists to let us know that there is a deep state? Okay, this question ended up producing a 2.5-minute Ford rant. I don't really know if it fits in the confines of this video. If we keep including these rants, they're just going to go on forever. So someone had suggested, why not have Ford have a separate video about news that's global? I think we might go in that direction. So twice a week, we'll upload a video. One on Monday will be Ask America Anything. The other will be The Frant, because that's what my brother-in-law calls my rants. And I want to rein myself in. I don't want it to be yelling rants. I would rather it be more philosophical discussions that I would like to talk for an hour about, you know? And so that can be for those people who are actually interested in that sort of thing, so everyone else doesn't have to sit here and be like, oh, what is he talking about? That's just not what I'm interested in. So that can be isolated. Some people suggest maybe it's 5 events from around the world every week. I don't think it'll be that many at the beginning, but probably most of them will be from Ask America Anything that just didn't make the cut into the Ask America Anything video because Ford went and talked too long, like I have done in this last minute. There you go. Back to the regularly scheduled Ask America Anything. If you want to hear my thoughts on Bitcoin, globalization, a new world order, those sorts of things, I've got about a 3-minute little discussion frant that we'll be releasing on Friday. Those are the type of conversations I love to have. Maybe we should have 2 different videos. One is just the generic, and then the other is the Ford rant.
Because the stuff that Melissa's like, Bitcoin's a thing. It's going to be a thing. That's my answer.
I'm going to actually put this one into Sush Kohli. I didn't see this one. I was only looking for actual links. But Sush Kohli requests me to look into the lectures of Swami Sarvapriyananda. So I'll check that out in my viewings. TikTok asks, your take on what Indians are doing wrong. Not essentially to change, but get opinion. Like, you made it in New Delhi with a bicycle as opposed to motorbike, which is taken for granted as my parents gave it to me in college. So, yeah, there was a time there where I started riding bike, even in America, before I went over to India. And that was kind of in my hipster, do away with technology phase. I just think in our world, these kind of changes aren't really sustainable. Luddite changes, like let's get rid of technology and let's just go back to the old way of doing things. It just has to be thought through, I think, and a lot of times we just don't think through it.
I know, and I don't know. Bicycles as opposed to motorbikes, to public transportation, to autos, to taxis in Delhi. I heard this one guy sharing about how he's an expat, he's a foreigner living in Delhi, staunchly only used the bus system. I don't know. I don't know, there's super pros and cons to both.
Right. India's doing some things right on that. I think, public transportation in Delhi they're doing a lot of work with it. There's still a big pollution problem, but they're doing a lot of work with that. The metro is really good in Delhi.
It's just traffic is just out of control.
Traffic's out of control, but the metro is really good.
Yeah.
The fact that autos are using CNG, like we don't even use CNG. I didn't even know that existed until I went to India. So, there are positive steps.
I think the metro is a better option than... you should expand the bus system, but I think by expanding the metro system, I think they're doing something right.
Again, for me, I feel like my riding a bicycle in those time periods was more of a hipster attempt to be like, look at me, I'm caring for the environment, and not really thinking through how it's actually, is it sustainable? Is everyone going to do this? No, because people have to make it to work on time. And if you're commuting from Noida to Delhi, you can't ride a bike. Not going to happen.
And that's the thing. The distance depends on where depends on where you're going. And also, sometimes you don't want to be on a bike in Delhi. You could get run over.
Well, in Noida, it's dangerous. There were numerous times where I was like, my life just flashed before my eyes.
Hit by a bus.
Because the buses don't care. They're going, dude. So again, it's just a certain point you have to kind of be realistic.
Realistic. Does it fit?
Right.
Does this make sense?
So I wouldn't feel guilty about what you're doing. Yeah. I would not feel guilty about that. We're going to wait on the links at this part. We'll do links all at one time.
We should just,
Aren't Americans a mix of British and Irish people, since you guys also speak in English? So are Australians and New Zealanders. Brits also colonized India, but our race is still brown. So we are mainly European immigrants. So
and it really is European. It's
not just
England. You've got your
England.
Italian pockets and your Irish pockets, Scandinavian pockets.
And so our lineage seems to be something from Great Britain and some from Northwest Europe. So Holland or Denmark area or France. So somewhere up in there.
Yeah, you really do have a big mix of all Europeans, because then you've also got lots of Eastern Europeans and Polish and that kind as well in the States, because you'll find those kinds of names, those kinds of last names.
Totally. So my last name is Dutch-ish.
Yeah. Some sort of slaughtered since it came to America.
Right. Somewhere on the border of Holland and France, in that vicinity, and I really don't know. And so we don't even pronounce it right. We say Suze. It's actually supposed to be Sows or something like that. So, and my cultural heritage, my knowledge of my cultural heritage is pretty lacking. My dad grew up in Louisiana, which is very... French-inspired, Creole inspired. So it is just we are a melting pot of culture and weird. And I am kind of a cultural mutt. What are you?
We'll see. Yeah, because I'm Welsh. My mom always told me that we were Scandinavian, but my aunt, her sister, found out that actually we have some Irish in us. So okay. That was surprising. I didn't know that. We do speak English because I guess it was really kind of more England, because we were their colony at first. So that's why we speak English, which makes sense why Australia and New Zealand speak English.
Right. And so if you think you look at the French influence in a lot of areas of the world, France had some, interests here as well, but Britain ended up winning in the end. France had, our buddy Kevin, he speaks French. Mm-hmm. And he's from Congo in Africa. So there are French colonies all over the place, Spanish colonies, Portuguese. Yeah. So these languages have, the colonial language usually tended to win. Yeah. But it's not our language either. That's the thing. Just because we're white, we're not English necessarily,
And that's the last part, Brits colonized India as well, but your race is still brown. So you kept that English, you kept English as the business language because of the British colonial influence. But that's the difference, is at independence, most of the Brits either chose to leave. So I think that's a very different relationship from what happened in Australia, what happened in America. And it's very different because really they didn't really stay, and
right.
I mean it was really a ruling from afar.
Yeah.
And then once that rule was over, most retreated. Yeah. I know that there are some fascinating videos and books about British people, Brits who chose to stay after independence. There's not many of them.
Thank you, Samir Rotor, for very kind words there. He's asking us to do reaction videos with clickbait headlines just for a month as a trial. Sometimes people have to be baited to looking into more.
Oh, nah.
So we're just kind of on our track right now. I do appreciate this concern for our financial well-being and, you know, for the success of this channel. I know that a lot of these suggestions are just in that vein, just trying to help us get to where we're supposed to get. We're just trying to follow this path to creating something new. And it's not, I don't think it's going to look like what has come before on YouTube. So we'll keep plugging away at it. Thank you for your patience. We are going to be reacting in our own way now that we have this link database over here.
Once again, I'm willing to experiment.
Good Dune says, asking Americans, is America safe, is hypocritical when Indians themselves take offense if someone American asks them the same thing. Just ask America anything. You can ask whatever. And we do not want to be defensive about the stuff. I think we are kind of in a place where we are defensive personally and as a nation, kind of, because all of our dirty laundry's aired so much. And at the same time, there are things about America I want to see changed. I don't want it to just to be business as usual. You know, for me, one of my political frustrations is that we've been almost at war since World War II in some manner or another. Not total war, but battles and skirmishes all over the world. That's something about America I don't like. I don't want us to be an empire, globally crusading empire. I want people to have the freedom to ask us these questions. Freedom of the press, right? Freedom of speech. Like, I want our comments to have that ability.
I feel like it was an honest...
It was.
You know, because... You know, if you guys remember Allie, who came, I mean, her parents were very concerned in asking me, is Delhi safe? You know, it's just, if you don't know, you haven't been there before, you don't have any context, like, of course, we're scared as humans, we're scared of what we don't know.
Oh yeah, no, and he was asking out of concern, like he's trying to, you know, so no, I don't bemoan that question at all. You're allowed to ask those questions.
You're allowed to ask
and no, America is not...
You're honest.
Is not like the safest place in the universe right now. I don't think it's definitely not the safest place in the world right now.
Guess we should all move to Sweden.
Yeah, but see, again, we can't all fit in Sweden. We can't all fit in Switzerland. You know, we can't fit in Norway.
It's cold and dark.
We haven't always been the safest nation. You know, before and one other thing, before we came in, America wasn't safe either. Like, Native American tribes weren't always getting along. Some of them were. Some of them had a good thing going. But it wasn't always safe then either. Like, this place has been, I don't know, kind of a frontier. People are fighting, and that is the problem with individualism. You take it too far, and it can be just people going off on each other. So I think, again, that question was asked honestly, and we do want to have open communication here. Ask America anything. I think even that's fine. Like, just be ready. We're gonna push back. Logan, the only American who's commented on this whole video. Logan. Yeah, Logan.
Hey, Logan.
If you're actually watching it, thank you for watching it. Are you watching the whole video, like these log things?
He's probably like, hey, there's Ford's ugly mug. Let me take a look at that.
He said good-looking peps. Man, thanks. I hope everything's all right, man. I still have not looked into doing any sort of fight training. I'm just, trying to do my water workout stuff, but it's cold. So thanks, Logan, for stopping by. Appreciate it. Keep on back. Comment. Let us know you're still here. 40 minutes just from YouTube. This is just halfway through the YouTube comments from last week's video. First half of this video, responding to YouTube comments. We only made it about 2/3 of the way through. And then the last half is going to be responding to Reddit questions. So let's get to that.
Almost time for Deli Melly to make her appearance.
That's
on the subreddit.
Shushant K. Shushant K.
Thank you. It was throwing me off with the H.
A follower from India. Been watching your videos. Never got to know your opinion on the show South Park. South Park is maybe one of the most balanced satires out there, I think.
Right. So, like, when I was in high school, I never watched South Park because, like, my family
I wasn't allowed
way
to.
Conservative. So, it was like, oh, that's, like, from the devil. Right. Now that I'm older, I think it's hilarious satire. Yeah. And it makes some fantastic points that need to be made. And it makes fun of people and things that need to be made fun of.
And it's kind of like, if you could imagine someone being objective, South Park is probably the closest thing to it. I mean, they make fun of everyone equally, and they've been, I don't know, I feel like they have managed to stay as apolitical as possible while making everyone mad. So, you know, the things that like the Comedy Central claims to be, The Daily Show claims to be, John Oliver claims to be, you know, actually holding up a comedic, satirical lens to society. No, they're holding up a very skewed political lens to society. South Park does a very good job of, you know, calling out conservative Christians, calling out conservative Muslims, calling out agnostics, calling out atheists, calling out Hollywood, calling out politicians, calling out Democrats, calling out Republicans, calling out Scientologists, calling out Mormons,
now, granted,
defending Mormons.
I've only literally seen like 2 or 3 episodes.
Right,
ever.
That
so
Facebook episode is
really, yeah. So it's like
just so good.
It's on like, I'm basing what I'm saying off of the 2 or 3 episodes that I've seen. So I don't have a good working knowledge of South Park, but I liked what I did see.
It's crass, it's absurd, and I don't know. It's fantastic. I feel. The one about PewDiePie. Satire. The one about PewDiePie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, hilarious. It's so good. Messages for Ford and Mel from That Sharma Boy. Loved your Super Minion Swami video. Now, let me just remind everyone, that's not me. I did the video part of it, but that was Chris Ashok, the man, the myth, the legend. That's his violin playing. I just like pretended just for the sake of the funny video. And I love that. I think it's just so fantastic. It's one of my favorite.
I mean, like,
gets stuck in my head.
It's political, so like I'm kind of like, what? I don't get it.
You Dumbo!
But it.
It's good.
Laugh because he says
there was always a glint of optimism in your eyes.
Wow,
yes.
What a lovely description. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. A glint of optimism in our eyes, and stay glorious, guys.
There's been a long time since there's been a glint of optimism in my eyes. I'm starting to get a little bit of it back. Yeah. Thank you for all.
Oh, thank you for the very kind.
The encouragement. Yeah. And thank you for the advice. And we do want to find something that is more positive. And so we do want to, you know, as much as possible, steer away from being negative. Oh, man. Like
we want to be honest, but positive, right? Like we want to be honest, but have that glint of optimism in our eyes. Because that's what there's more. The world needs more of that.
Right. Really, thank you for the advice and the encouragement. We can start a new chapter in our lives and move on to better things. We agree. And we're going to see what we can do.
Yeah. I mean, hey, being back and doing this, Ask America Anything, I feel like I've kind of reclaimed a bit of myself that I'd lost this past year. Definitely. So really, like, being here and interacting with you guys, it makes me feel more like me.
Definitely.
So,
and we have good news.
Now, granted, if you ask me to react to a political video, I will not feel like me.
Right. Yes. So,
but that's okay. That's why we have this guy over here, because he likes to talk about that kind of stuff. I am looking at like Thanksgiving dinner or lunch. Like these are the kind of things I want to talk about.
All right.
I'll talk about all these little things.
Well, we'll get to that one in just a minute. We do have this cool thing here. Hey, we've got a viewer who lives in Tallahassee.
Hey, it's
just
only
2 hours away.
Woo!
So we can actually have a true India connection. We'll actually be able to do a video.
Start researching, Kunal. Some good Indian food we can have in Tallahassee.
Well, I'm sure he already knows.
Or make us some.
No, we'll just come.
No,
we'll come over and you pick us the best restaurant there. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple Indian restaurants in Tallahassee.
Surely there.
Tallahasee's home to the
it's
Florida.
It's bigger than us. It's got to be.
Florida State University.
Yeah.
You know,
it's
like
the capital of Florida.
Right. So I'm sure we'll be able to find something. I've been wanting to go back over to Tallahassee. I used to play violin over there, so this would be pretty cool. So Kunal will be getting in touch this week. Viewers, maybe by next week, I'll actually have some footage of another real person other than us sitting in this room.
What? We could do a vlog.
We could actually do a vlog.
Come on, one vlog.
One vlog.
Just
all right.
One vlog.
Okay. So now let's do a question Melissa's interested. Thanksgiving dinner or lunch by Iowa D. Hi, guys. My name is Dun Raj, and I'm from Chennai. I currently go to school at Iowa State.
Hey.
Love your videos, and it's been a pleasure watching you learn about Indian culture and appreciate it. I love the culture here in Iowa. People are very friendly, and I've made some great friends over the past few years. You guys would totally fit in here in the Midwest. If you come by this side, you should definitely let me know, and there's so much corn here, it cannot get more fun than that. You don't want to miss that. Anyways, I got I go to a friend's place for Thanksgiving dinner every year. Growing up in India, I've always learned that dinner is any meal after 6 p.m.-ish. I asked my friends why they call it dinner here when they had their Thanksgiving meal in the afternoon, because any meal in the afternoon meant lunch for me in India.
Yes.
They said the biggest meal of the day is considered dinner over here. That's interesting. It made sense then. Anyways, I was just wondering your thoughts on this. Did you seem confused when in India that people always had dinner after 6 p.m.? So also, I'm supposed to make an Indian dish for the dinner. Is there any Indian dish you would recommend? Oh, this is a great question.
Chennai. So Chennai, because of course, I'm always asking for North Indian food, but that's because we lived in Delhi. So
make some dosas, huh?
I know dosas, but I mean, like that's a lot of work, and then those have to really be done fresh.
That's a good question. Yeah, I would say just do. Well, potatoes are big. Why not do some sort of potato dish like
aloo gobi?
Like an aloo gobi? That would make sense. Both of those are.
If you make that.
Yeah, both of those are.
But I mean, pretty much sambar is pretty nice. So I mean, I don't know which would be easier and keep better. Like
I don't know. Sambar, I don't think for Thanksgiving.
Sambar, but like with idli. I know for Thanksgiving. I know that's true. Oh man, I mean. Do you guys eat samosas down there? Do you make samosas? I mean, samosas are always a hit anytime. Or pakora. Once again,
is there some analogy to pakora from
Chennai? You need to help us here. I am not trying to like stereotype you by saying from Chennai. I'm showing my ignorance here.
Yeah, I don't really know much about Chennai.
Or pratas, but
yeah.
But like pretty much any dal you can make.
Yes, any dal.
So good.
Any aloo dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, my southern Indian. Biryani.
Biryani.
That'd be kind of fun.
Be, yeah. The whole lunch dinner thing. So I grew up on the East Coast, and then so my grandmother would sometimes refer to things as dinner. Yes, as being like a large meal.
Right.
But we would also, growing up, like I also used dinner as once again like that's the evening nightly meal. Yeah. So I just it's like kind of like. I don't know, it's weird. And I don't understand, I don't know how that got started, if it's an older generation thing as well. That's true. If I were going to invite my neighbor and we're going to eat Thanksgiving at 2 in the afternoon, I'd say, come over for Thanksgiving dinner. But we're going to have it at 2.
So in general, we still refer to anything in the middle of the day as lunch.
Yeah.
But for Thanksgiving or Christmas, we refer to it as dinner.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Dinner, Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, I guess it just sounds better than lunch.
Right. Maybe it sounds more festive.
I guess so. Yeah, so
a confusing thing for me as an American living in America.
But yeah, if it's a work day, I'm not going to say let's go get dinner at 12 or 1 or 2. I would only say that at the end of the day. Anywho, it's been great watching you live in India and adapt to our culture and learn to appreciate cultural differences. I've done the same here too, and it's changed me so much in a good way.
Awesome.
Glad to hear that. Way to keep it cross-cultural, constructive. Being cross-cultural helps you learn so much about so many things. True that. Have a great day. God bless you, Florida, Melissa, Satya, and Rohan.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Dhanraj. Favorite YouTubers and Netflix shows?
Okay. Hey,
CR Park.
So close to us. We could have met at Market too. Gosh.
Punku Mazumdar.
So sorry that you also experienced visa issues. It is a tough thing. Stinks. Obviously, H3H3. Yeah. Very crass and dirty, but they make fun of things that deserve to be made fun of.
Right. So, and a lot of people talk about the need for positivity, and we're talking about being constructive. Shiva the Destroyer. Sometimes things have to be destroyed in order to build something else better. Sometimes forests can't grow until the undergrowth is burned off. Sometimes that's just part of life on our weird cyclical planet. So that's why we have, in this period of kind of degradation in our lives, have identified with
taken much solace from them.
H3 iDubbbz and Filthy Frank and Max Mofo.
No, those last 3 I can't.
Even PewDiePie.
I can handle a little bit of PewDiePie.
PewDiePie flicking off the Washington Post is just one of my highlights of the last year.
Yeah,
I loved.
Whoa, so this is kind of deep.
Hey, he's asking questions.
During Adpocalypse, I really felt like solidarity with PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Adpocalypse is, it's ridiculous, guys.
On the more constructive side of YouTube, I watch Solo Renekton only. He's a League of Legends YouTuber. He uploads daily. I keep quitting him and I keep coming back. I keep quitting him because I waste too much time watching his videos and playing.
He watches. He loves Donkey.
Video Game Donkey.
He's
the best video game critic of all time.
I do always love Ryan Higa. Because I think Ryan Higa is one of those guys who's got a glint of optimism in his eyes always. And he's family friendly for the most part.
Yep.
No, I love Ryan Higa.
He is YouTube incarnate. I mean, he is the most YouTube person.
He's great. Love him. Love him.
You know, we haven't watched Philip DeFranco, but I mean, I always have a soft spot in my heart for him.
He does.
Then
what was the other thing? Okay, so
Netflix.
I love Chef's Table. Love Chef's Table. Like if I could one day look back on my life and say I made kind of like an equivalent to what Chef's Table is for me, I would be like, yes, I have done something.
Maybe the best documentary series of TV ever done in terms of you know, something like food. Yeah. It's just fantastic.
So each episode focuses on a different chef, and they typically use classical music, but they choose music that fits that person, and they let that person sometimes dictate how they edit, how the music they use, and they really let those persons' weaknesses still show through, and I really appreciate that.
Fantastic.
It's just great. It's like this is good This is good documentary making.
It doesn't get any better because, you know, the problem with documentary is it's very so easy to become propaganda.
Yes.
So for or against something.
Yes.
Normally, documentary and film is propaganda against something. Oh, this evil baddie corporation, this evil baddie government, or whatever. TV documentaries go the other way. It's like, oh, look at this place. It's, you know, like it can sometimes... I think Anthony Bourdain did a good job of kind of threading the needle. But normally, like a travel show will just be like, oh, this is the best place ever. You know, this is amazing. It's so exotic. Yeah. And what I feel like Chef's Table does is they, like she says, they include the faults of a person and them talking about their own failings and struggles, and it humanizes them. And you're like, oh, I could never. I don't think I'll ever be as successful as that person as a chef. But man, is it help you understand the pitfalls of a career, you know, and help you understand the things to avoid. It's fantastic. The sound design, the music, the cinematography, the editing, just masterfully done.
So good. And I mean, shout out to Anthony Bourdain. We'll always love Anthony Bourdain, his No Reservations and his Parts Unknown. As a cross-cultural, I mean, so our American Indian series and lots that we did in India, our videos were inspired largely by
his writing style.
So love him. And I love Booze Traveler.
Booze Traveler. Fantastic.
If you're not offended by alcohol, and you can, I don't know if he's on Netflix anymore, but
like he's much more. You could, hey, there's the Ribbit Man.
Hello.
What you doing?
Play Mario Bros.
I thought so. Play Mario Bros. So Booze Traveler, I mean, much more, you could say, simple in terms of like not as intellectual, philosophical, or cross-cultural.
But once again, a glint of optimism in the eyes.
Definitely.
Like it's positive, and I know I like it.
And you learn so much, like through alcohol, about a culture. It really, I was just blown away.
So here's something interesting. So I follow a girl on Instagram called Lost in Maps. So she was sharing in a post how she spent some time in villages in Maharashtra, and she doesn't like chai. And so they would offer her chai, and she would say no, and they'd get super offended. But she's like, but I don't like chai. So then she said, finally, now this is an Indian girl, finally said, okay, and she would just accept the chai and gulp it down, and then they would embrace her and kind of count her as one of theirs. And I just thought that was fascinating, that there's so much cultural stuff, societal stuff in that, like alcohol beverages, and then things like tea drinks and coffee drinks and
food
and the society, I don't know, the gathering around that. It speaks so much about culture and people and society, and I think it's fascinating.
Thank you, Punku, for the awesome question there. And he's recommending Cosmos from Neil deGrasse Tyson on Netflix. So you should check that out. Neil deGrasse Tyson, you know, the guy that someone asked you about. You're like, I don't even know what that is.
No, see?
Well, he has a show called Cosmos. There you go.
I guess I'll find out who he is now.
All right. We'll check that out.
Okay.
I mean, I've known about it, but, you know, I'm
the one, remember, I live with my head in the sand.
All right, I'm going to cut the Reddit's responses off right there so this doesn't go into 40-minute territory. Looking to try to get these things down to 30. And again, for those of you who haven't gotten to in the India Connection subreddit, hit our 150 goal. Should hit it this week. We'll start responding in text form to some of these, and we're going to have to start like narrowing this down so it's not quite so bulky. I don't know if some of you let us know somehow or another, you know, comments or Reddit posts or whatever, if you think that podcast would be a good idea. I do have a Surfing Violinist podcast just sitting there that I haven't done anything with, so I could just start translating these over and just make them podcasts, I guess. I don't know. So just let us know if you're interested in that kind of thing, if you'd listen to this sort of thing in the commute, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, much more to come. A couple other things. Video links. We have recorded an hour of responses to YouTube videos, or us watching the YouTube videos and responding to them. Wednesday, you can expect some of our video reactions to Kenny Sebastian, Shashi Tharoor, and next week we'll probably have a vlog of some kind. So, yay, we're getting back into it. So, feels good. Thank you for all your feedback and encouragement and constructive criticism. Thanks. Until next time, thank you for keeping the conversation going, and keep it creative, keep it cross-cultural, keep it constructive, Redditors and YouTubers. Thank you very much.